Hello and welcome to PMN Sports. Today, we take a look on the top 10 best young players playing at the 2022 Qatar FIFA World Cup. Youngsters and World Cups are two things that have historically got along. From Pele in 1958 to Mbappe in 2018, young players have taken the world by storm in this tournament. Over the last couple of years, we've been introduced to insane talents that dazzle on the biggest stage. Hence, we feel it is important to list and rank the best young players playing at this year's World Cup. 10. Rodrygo Goes, 21 years old, Brazil. Real Madrid's talisman. The Brazilian had an amazing season with Madrid, winning La Liga, Spanish Super Cup and the UEFA Champions League and scoring 9 goals and providing 10 assists. Rodrygo was crucial in getting his team to the Champions League final, igniting the iconic comebacks against Chelsea and Manchester City where he scored a combined 3 goals in both games. He is Mr. Champions League Junior. Although Brazil has plenty of alternatives on the flanks, the 21-year-old is perhaps the most clutch player on the squad. Add his superb technique and finishing skills, he's a player anyone would want at their disposal. Like his compatriot and club teammate Vinicius Jr., Rodrygo will be looking to bring the golden trophy back home for the 6th time. 9. Ansu Fati, 19 years old, Spain. Barca's heir to the legendary number 10 jersey. Although he's had injuries that have kept him sidelined for quite some time in the last 2 seasons, Ansu Fati is still the definition of a baller. Fati's capability to create and contribute goals with such ease is mesmerizing. In the 2019-20 La Liga season, his debut campaign, the Spaniard scored his first goal for Barcelona when he was 16. At the end of the same season, the winger bagged 7 goals and provided 1 assist in 24 matches and 1,024 minutes played, a goal or assist every 128 minutes as a 17-year-old playing for Barcelona. He has established himself as a starter and an integral member of the Spanish national team when fit. 8. Aurélien Tchouaméni, 22 years, France. The newest and final piece to rejuvenating a legendary Madrid midfield. Aurélien was Real Madrid's first summer acquisition, buying him from AS Monaco for a deal potentially worth $100 million, the most expensive transfer this summer. Well, Tchouaméni is one of those players that is unpredictable in the sense of what he will be able to contribute throughout a soccer game. Although he has the characteristics and attributes of a defensive and tough central midfielder, the Frenchman can also provide in the attack and create chances in the last third, all reasons for Didier Deschamps to consider him a regular in the French national team. With Les Bleus, Tchouaméni has become a starter and will most likely be a vital team player in the 2022 World Cup, considering both Paul Pogba and Kanté will be out due to injuries. 7. Jude Bellingham, 19 years, England. Jude Bellingham is so great he already retired a number. At 17, the midfielder was one of England's most exciting talents, present and future. After having impressive performances with Birmingham City in the English Championship, Bellingham earned himself a transfer to Borussia Dortmund, breaking the transfer record for Birmingham all while being a kid. Destined for greatness. At Dortmund, the midfielder has played 91 games and has scored 11 goals and provided 19 assists, with a goal contribution in every competition he's played in. There's been rumors about a potential move to another European giant, and if he's able to showcase his talent at the world's biggest stage, Bellingham might solidify his position in world football, bag another transfer and retire yet another jersey number somewhere else. 6. Jamal Musiala, 19 years old, Germany. Born in southwest Germany to a Nigerian father and a German mother, Musiala spent almost a decade of his childhood in England. He was a youth player first for Southampton, then Chelsea, until signing for Bayern in 2019 at the age of 16. Musiala heads to Qatar 2022 on fine form with Germany. One of Germany's top players at the World Cup in Qatar could easily have been in the England squad. Bayern Munich's attacking midfielder Jamal Musiala represented England at junior level before finally opting for Germany last year after being persuaded by then-coach Joachim Löw. The coach who gave Musiala his first team chance back then, Hansi Flick, is now his coach for Germany. After Lowe persuaded the teenager to commit to Germany and gave him his first senior internationals, Flick has made him a first-team regular, playing in the last 8 games in friendlies and the Nations League. One quirk of Musiala's burgeoning international career is that of his 17 games for Germany, 3 have come against England, the team he could have played for instead. 5. Alphonso Davies, 21 years, Canada. He's the kid from Edmonton. The Canadian is one of the best full-backs in the world, and you can attribute most of that to his insane pace and dribbling skills. Legend says that Nelson Semedo still doesn't know where Alphonso Davies went. Davies was the first player born in 2000 to debut in MLS. A glimpse of what he'd achieve in the future. Since arriving at Bayern Munich in 2019, the left back has won every trophy possible. And he did that all in one season. At 21 and after cruising through every opposition with Bayern, Fonzie helped lead Canada to its first World Cup qualification since 1986. Look around you. Look at this, we created this. This didn't exist before we were here. Look around. I swear, I promise you right now, we did this, said Davies after Canada qualified for this year's World Cup. 4. Gavi, 18, Spain, the golden boy. It's disrespectful to be this good, this young, and do it all with your shoelaces untied. Gavi is one of many young Barca players making an impact for the first team, and he might be the most impressive. Ever since he was brought up from La Masia and debuted for the club in 2021, the central midfielder has maintained himself as a starter. Gavi is technically gifted, using cheeky skills to get past the opposition and project teammates into the last third, but can also hold it down defensively, intercepting, recovering and tracking attackers back when it's needed. The Spaniard can play in basically every position past midfield. He's been so good for Barcelona that Luis Enrique called him up to the Spanish national team and has been phenomenal. In June, the 17-year-old became the youngest player to ever score for La Roja. Could you imagine being a starter for Barcelona, your boyhood club, and Spain as a 17-year-old? We're pretty sure not even his dad imagined this when he began driving Gavi to first-team practice every morning. 3. Phil Foden, 22, England. Phil is the most talented player I have ever seen in my career as a manager, said Pep Guardiola in 2019. Keep in mind, Guardiola has managed the likes of Lionel Messi, Andres Iniesta and Xavi. Phil is that guy, pal. Since the financial takeover at Manchester City, it's become difficult to see youngsters from the academy break and slip through the cracks of $60 million transfers every summer. Phil Foden, at 20 years of age, was able to become a starter for a squad worth over $1 billion. With the Citizens, Phil has 112 goal contributions in 212 matches, and he hasn't even peaked. He's still to make that sort of impact with England, though. This is the chance to prove himself at the biggest football stage, after a fine start in the Premier League with Manchester City. 2. Pedri, 19 years old, Spain. The 2020-2021 Golden Boy Award winner. Pedri's growth since arriving in Barcelona has been astronomical. Since joining Barca from Las Palmas in 2020, the midfielder's market value has increased by $100 million. At Las Palmas and as a youngster, the midfielder was characterized by his quick thinking and vision going into goal-scoring areas of the field. When Messi was still at Barcelona and the team was at their lowest, Pedri became the Argentinian's unexpected partner, creating chances and scoring goals. Although his short career in Catalunya has been difficult, rebuild and life post-Messi, there's reason to believe that Pedri will become the leader of the Azulgrana's promising future and new generation. He already established himself as a starter for Spain, winning the younger player of the tournament with Spain at 2020 Euros. 1. Vinicius Jr., 21 years old, Brazil. Vinicius Jr. is special. After having a promising, yet almost embarrassing start at Real Madrid, being memed in a compilation of videos that ridiculed his poor decision-making and finishing skills, Vini managed to turn it around. In his first 3 seasons with Los Blancos, the winger scored 14 goals and had provided 23 assists in 118 games. Florentino Perez, president of Real Madrid, was called a fool for buying him. Though, as we've previewed before, Vini was able to do the unprecedented. Carlo Ancelotti was appointed as manager of Madrid for the 2021-22 season, and the winger decided it was time to turn it up. Last season and in one season alone, the Brazilian scored 22 goals and gave 20 assists in 52 games, scored in a semi-final against Barcelona and scored the only goal in the Galacticos Champions League final victory against Liverpool, solidifying not only his regard as perhaps the best young player playing in the upcoming World Cup, but also as one of the best forwards. Brazil is a heavy contender to take the highly coveted trophy. Their attack, as opposed to the last few World Cups, is bolstered with the flair and magic that we've been accustomed to with their previous World Cup winning generations.